I'm not used to doing these sorts of videos, guys, where we talk about petitions on change.org, but this one kind of caught my eye, and I thought, what the hell, why don't we take a little look at it? So, this one is called Rate Queer Kids Stuff Channel Unsuitable for Children, and this is a petition started by Patrick Allison of Napier, New Zealand, and as of this recording, it has amassed 487 supporters. Now, before I look into this further, I guess I should try to explain, at least in my own words, what exactly is Queer Kid Stuff. Well, it's a YouTube channel that tries to discuss queer kid stuff. Basically, it's a video for... it's a channel for children that is trying to teach about exactly what the LGBTQAP plus ABCDEFG group is. And that sounds fine. And on the surface, that sounds great. Unfortunately, there are quite a few problems with this channel, besides the fact that their videos are awful, even by the standards of entertainment intended for children. There's lots of glaring problems in terms of, facts and information that is not properly given. It really is a horrible channel. Correction, I really can't say that the channel is horrible. The videos are horrible. Now, do I think that the channel should be rated unsuitable for children? I will give you my thoughts after I'm done reading all of this. Now, I took a look at the image here, which has their banner and their icon and everything, but it says that they have 2,127 subs. That is no longer accurate. I was curious and went to the Queer Kid Stuff YouTube channel. They're up to 3,103. So between the time that this image was taken and the time I'm making this video, Queer Kid Stuff has gained damn near 1,000 subs, which is rather interesting. So anyway, why don't we give this thing a read? So, let me scroll this down a little bit more. So, the young lady responsible for the Queer Kid Stuff YouTube channel is making videos that are ideological and political. That is very, very true. The videos on the channel explain what LGBTQ+ is to a target audience of toddlers, telling them it's not only okay to be LGBTQ+, but that it's cool, unique, and makes you special and almost better than cis. And from what I've seen, that is somewhat true. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, all of that I'm totally fine with, except for the last bit. Makes you almost better than cis. Because frankly, I personally believe that all people, no matter what their sexuality or their gender or whatever the hell, are all equals. I'm not about to say that cis people are better than trans people, and aren't you technically cis if you're just gay? I'm sorry, guys. I honestly don't know all of the snowflake fucking jargon, and it seems to change on an almost weekly basis, so I'm not totally caught up. Pardon me. Anyway, why don't we continue reading this? There are subtle and divisive hints towards cis people. Not exactly. She comes right out and talks about cis people in the videos. There's nothing really subtle about. There really aren't subtle hints as much as she comes right out and just talks about them. Anyway, the videos explain that doctors are sometimes wrong when assigning a gender, that there are many genders, and that you can choose any one you want. This is one of the big problems I have with that channel, is it really does hit a whole lot of the special snowflake talking points and is essentially trying to brainwash children with their special brand of garbage. The two big ones I have on here are the whole thing about doctors being wrong when assigning a gender, specifically the entire the whole social fucking justice bullshit theory about being assigned a gender at birth. Let me clear that up right now. You are not assigned a gender at birth. No. When you are born, the doctor looks at your genitals, and they tell the parents the gender of their child, the biological sex of their child. So, when you came firing out of your mother's crotch, the doctor looked and said, "Oh, looky there, a penis. That means that this is a little boy." because that's logical. Or they looked down and said, what do you know? Vagina. That means it's a little girl. Again, logic. There's nothing wrong about that, and you have not been assigned a gender. The doctor is informing the parents what their child is on a physical, biological level. So, that much there, I can completely just kill off right there. What about this there are many genders thing? No. There's male and female, and if you want to get technical, hermaphrodite, which is a mixture of both. That's it. So that's like 2.5 if you want to get technical. So yeah, there are many genders if many means 2. And you can choose any one you want. That one I am not going to argue because you are able to, through things such as hormones and surgery and yada yada yada, you are able to transition from one gender to another, at least on a physical level. It still doesn't change what you are on a biological level. But oh well, at least that much is still technically true. You can choose which gender you want as long as you're willing to go through therapy and hormones and surgery and so on and so on and so on. So, why don't we continue this right up? This is all couched in euphemisms that a small child would not understand, such as comparing unicorns to trans people. I don't think I saw that video where she compares unicorns to trans people. I'm almost curious now. Anyway, why don't we continue this? And this is disturbing sexualization of children. It has the potential to confuse and corrupt a young child with no sexual interest or understanding. I don't really think so. Well, correction. If her whole goal was to just teach LGBTQ and what it is to a young child, perhaps maybe teaching it to toddlers is a bit much. But, you know, at some point, you have to be taught these things. You do have to be told about what's all out there in terms of LGBTQ, what it means to be, you know, gay or trans or bi, and, you know, perhaps maybe toddler is a bit too young. That could be seen as a big issue. However, I really don't see a problem with teaching it to children. Just, you gotta pick the right age group. She really didn't. So why don't we continue this? Please, YouTube, classify this channel as unsuitable for children. We need to let kids be kids. Sex is for adults. LGBTQ plus issues are very important, but leave kids out of it until they reach an age where they can be given sex education by professionals. Please help make YouTube safe for kids. Okay, so do I think people should sign this? That, I know, is like the big point of this, is do I think people should sign this specific petition? And the answer is no. Okay? I am in no way a fan of this channel. I am in no way a fan of some of the questionable messages which this channel attempts to give out. But here is the thing. I don't think YouTube should be the one policing what your children or what other people's children are watching. Okay? Straight up. I don't think it's YouTube's place to tell you what is and isn't suitable for your children. If you don't want your kid watching this channel, then that should be your choice. If you feel that your child, if you feel that your like 4-year-old is somehow old enough and mature enough to understand these topics, then you would probably think it'd be fine for your kid to watch something similar to this. Probably not this. Maybe something a little bit less shit and stupid, but let's just say it should be up to the parents, not up to YouTube, to determine what is suitable and unsuitable for children. Okay? Now, I understand that YouTube is totally free to mark anything that they want as unsuitable for children. They can put things behind like age fucking barriers and all of this other shit. The problem is, while while the videos on the Queer Kid Stuff channel, while they are incredibly stupid and incredibly mis-fucking guided, I would not say that they are damaging, if for no other reason than because toddlers are not going to understand any of this. Even if you try to compare unicorns to trans people, they probably still are not going to fully get it. Okay, it would essentially be like when I watched The Silence of the Lambs at age 7. I did not understand a single goddamn thing that was going on in that fucking movie. It didn't stop me from watching it. And it wasn't until years later when I finally gave it a second watch and I was old enough to understand what the hell was going on that I finally figured out what the hell was happening in the frickin' movie. But the thing is, I did not understand because I wasn't old enough to understand. Watching it did not damage me. It didn't screw with me. I don't think that these videos are damaging to kids. I just think that they are painfully stupid. And the person who makes these videos should probably think a little bit harder about the content which they make. But that should be up to that person. That should be up to her as a content creator. That should not be up to YouTube. So, no, I really don't think that this one is worth signing, because I really don't think it's damaging in any real way. And if there are parents out there who do think it's damaging, then it should be up to the parents to make sure that their kids are not watching this. At least that's my personal stance. And the person who makes these videos, the person who runs the Queer Kid Stuff channel, she is free to make whatever the hell kind of videos she wants. If she wants to make this kind of misguided, stupid bullshit, that is her choice. And nobody should be telling her whether or not her stuff is fit for a younger audience. At least in terms of like a broad thing, alright? Not us and not YouTube, alright? Now, you might have an argument if you have kids. But then, that only applies to your kids. If you have kids and you think they should not be watching this, then that is up to you. But if you as a parent are going to try to say that other people's kids should not be exposed to this, then that's you overstepping your bounds. Okay, again, this is just me rambling on about the same fucking thing, but it's still the same basic thing. I am sick and tired of people trying to get websites and television stations and, video game companies and all this other shit to attempt to do the content fucking policing that should be left to the parents. And if you are a responsible parent, then you would be willing to do this sort of shit yourself instead of begging YouTube to do it for you. So no, guys, I cannot sign this because I don't see any real harm in a shitty channel with almost no subs putting out videos that most people fucking laugh at. I really don't know anybody who lets their kids watch these things because they're just that stupid. I just sort of thought I would share that, guys. So, there we go. If you guys really want to sign this thing, I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to leave that to you to find the link. I really don't feel like sharing this in all seriousness. But anyway, I just sort of thought I would give my thoughts on this, on not only this change.org petition, but also on the channel that it's targeting. I just kind of wanted to share all of that. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Take care. See ya.